Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to this session where we're going to talk about how to use a capo and when to use a capo. A capo is a really important tool for us as acoustic guitar players to understand how it works and when to use it when we're chasing certain sounds that can only be accomplished by certain voicings or chord shapes and then moving those in between different keys. The capo is the greatest tool for us to do that. Sometimes there are sounds that you can only access with a capo. And when you're like chasing a certain sound from a reference track or an ISO track, the capo is the best tool to kind of get you there. So it's important to understand how the capo works as well. There are some dangers in capos. If you have a capo that's too strong or the tension is too strong, it'll be similar to you putting your hand on a guitar and over pressing a string, which will cause the string to go sharp. Even with a good guitar and a well set up guitar and the right string gauge, the wrong capo can cause your strings to go out of tune, which ends up making you have to like tune the guitar with the capo on, which really isn't ideal. A proper setup and the right capo and the right tuning, you shouldn't have to change your tuning once you put your capo on. But that's really only true if your capo has tension control. What I mean by that, this capo specifically is only as tight on the guitar as I choose to make it by squeezing it. So if I squeeze it too hard, I can maybe push it out of tune, and if it's not on strong enough, it might be buzzy or fret out a little bit, just like with your fingers. If you overpress, it's sharp, and if you underpress, it frets out. Some capos, like an old Kaiser capo, has a spring tension on it, and you put it on, and it is what it is, and you can't control it. That's probably not the best choice. This is a G7 Performance 2 capo. There's a lot of capos out there that have tension control on them, but this is one of them that whatever pressure I put on is the pressure that it needs for the moment. So it's helpful to understand when to move your capo and how to transpose keys. And so if I'm playing in the key of D, but the sound that I'm chasing is the voicing of a key of C, for instance, here's a C. I like that sound. And I want to play in the key of D, I need to move my C up to the key of D, which is 2 half steps away. Each fret is a half step. So one whole step. I'm going to put my capo on the 2nd fret. I'm going to play that same C shape. And now it's a D. And that is true with every chord and every shape. As long as you just figure out where the root needs to be, place your capo relative to the root, and you should be good to go. Now here's what the capo is not. The capo is not an excuse for us as guitar players to not learn how to play complex bar chords or different voicings on the acoustic without one. If I need to play a C sharp minor 7, you need to be able to play that bar chord on your own. It's important to be able to do that, but every now and then when you're playing in the key of B, a C sharp minor 7 is accessed the same exact way with a capo. It just gives you access to other things that you don't have access to without a capo. So it's a tool to help you gain things that you don't have access to without it. It's not a tool to help you not learn proper fretboard theory and stuff. Also, the placement of the capo is important. What you're trying to do is essentially move the open first position, the nut up as far as you have to. So if I'm going to capo on the 3rd fret, I'm going to put my capo really pretty close to that fret, trying to simulate the placement of the nut relative to the shape of the chord. So keep that capo close to the fret. It'll probably work best for you in that scenario. Again, just to wrap up, capo tension is really valuable, and knowing all of your chord shapes and chord progressions inside of each and every key, and then moving your capo up and down the neck, not to cheat because you don't want to play hard chords, but to access voicings that are only accessible because the capo exists. So learn how to use it, learn how to transpose, and if you need to, check out Basic Music Theory in Unit 4, just for all the little music theory principles that you're going to need to know to transpose with the capo. If you have any questions about any of that, let us know.